Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Srishti and in today's video I'm going to show you how I made this H&M inspired crop top. When I saw this top on the website, I immediately thought that I can easily recreate this. Luckily, I had very similar sort of fabric. So let's begin with the recreation. So I started with measuring my bust round and divided it in half and then measured the length as well and added 1 cm seam allowance to all the sides. And then I cut two pieces, one for the front and one for the back. Then I folded one of the pieces and marked 1 inch and drew the neck. And then I'm just cutting it out. Next, I placed it on the other piece and traced the neck and cut it. Now that the front and back pieces are ready, I moved on to the wrapping of the sleeve. So I used a piece of paper and folded it in half. And place the sleeve of this top and mark the sleeve. And also the armhole. Then I connected all the points with a French curve and scale. Then I marked 1 inch seam allowance for the hem and connected the side seam as well. Then just cutting off the sleeve. But the pattern making doesn't end here. Since I'm making a puffed sleeve, I marked 1 inch point starting from the center and then marked 2 more points on both sides. So that's 5 points in total. Then I marked straight lines connecting it to the sleeve cap. Next, I decided to cut the tip of the sleeve cap to make it look a little more rounder. And then I'm just cutting out the parallel lines, not all the way through. So that I can spread it evenly. Then I've taken another sheet of paper and placed the sleeve and spreaded the slashes about 1 cm evenly and traced it carefully. And then I used a marker to retrace the pattern so that it is visible to you guys. I actually completely forgot to add seam allowance, so I cut the pattern anyway. And then traced it on the fabric and added seam allowance. And cut it off. Okay, so all the pieces are ready. I'm gonna start stitching. Even though the fabric doesn't fray, I like to finish the edges. So here I'm just using an overlock stitch to do so. Then I used an elastic and stretched it around my chest and cut it, and then cut it in half again to make two pieces for the front as well as the back, and did the same for the underburst area as well. So I have 4 pieces of elastic for the top and bottom of the front and back of the top. Then I pinned both ends to the sides of the pieces so that I have an idea how much to stretch it while stitching. Now that all pieces are pinned, I am using a zigzag stitch and pulling the elastic as I stitch. So this is how the front and back looks like. So now for the sleeve I am doing the same, finishing the raw edges of the top and bottom. For the sleeve, I stretched the elastic from the front neck to the back neck and cut it, and also stretched it around my arm in the bicep area. And then pinning the elastic and stitching it with a zigzag stitch. Next, I place the front and back pieces on each other and pin the sides. And stitched it using a triple straight stitch. And then I also finished the raw edges. Now for the sleeve, I folded the top and bottom and pulled it as I stitched. Once that was done, I folded the sleeve in half and pinned the sides and stitched it. And finished the raw edges. Next, for the top, I folded the top and bottom like I did for the sleeve and stitched it with a regular straight stitch. And lastly, I pinned the sleeves to the sides of the neck of the top and stitched a straight line about an inch. And voila, the crop top is ready. And that's about it for today's video. I really had fun recreating this top. I hope you enjoyed watching it. See you very soon in my next video. Bye!
It doesn't make sense, but that's my favorite bit. I just want